Welcome back, guys. We're gonna go over the Virginia Attorney General challenging the military vaccine requirements. Uh, Comment down below, like and subscribe. Let's get into this.
New at 5, Virginia is one of 22 states fighting the Pentagon's COVID-19 vaccination mandate.
Attorney General Jason Miyares has signed onto a legal brief challenging the vaccine requirement, which he calls the order and abuse of religious freedom. Here's Mike Gooding.
Just think about this.
Virginia Attorney General Jason Miyares has joined 21 other states' attorneys general in filing an amicus brief supporting the religious liberty of 35 Navy SEALs seeking religious exemptions from the Defense Department's COVID-19 vaccine mandate. In a statement, Miyares says the Biden administration has continually disrespected boundaries throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, undermining individual liberty and forcing Americans to obey dictates from unelected Washington bureaucrats. Navy SEALs are some of our best and brightest, willing to sacrifice their lives to protect our freedoms. Those who have filed religious exemptions for the COVID-19 vaccine deserve to be heard and taken seriously. The SEALs' complaint is now part of a wider class action suit involving more than 4,200 military plaintiffs.
Our mission is to defend religious liberty for everybody. And that includes those who are still in the Navy and fighting to stay in the Navy. We absolutely, that's exactly what our class action does.
So far, according to the Navy's website, only 47 religious accommodations have been granted. The Navy has separated nearly 1,200 active duty personnel and more than 300 reservists for vaccine refusal. 17 Navy military members have died from COVID-19. Mike Gooding, 13 News Now.
So, what do you think about the whole military requiring something like the COVID-19 vaccine?
Marine. And I remember climbing on those yellow footsteps out of that bus in the early dark hours of a morning reporting MCRD San Diego at the Marine Corps Recruit Depot. First thing they did is had us stand on the yellow footprints and look up the wall as they're screaming at us, our drill instructors, to read the UCMJ, the first 11 general orders of the UCMJ.
Mm-hmm.
And which is the Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is the laws for all those who are assigned into the military. I never took the COVID vaccine. I don't believe in it, and I mean, if someone believes in it, take it. It's a matter of choice to me. But in the military, this much I do know is when they say you take a vaccine, you take a vaccine. And as far as the religious exemption is. There wasn't a whole lot of that when I was in, and because your personal rights didn't count for a whole lot when I was in the Corps, and
me neither, because obviously, I was in 2000, 2004 era, and it was the same thing. I mean, they injected us full of stuff. I do feel that this is different, and this is why I feel it's different than, say, the other vaccines. In the military, as you know, they didn't give you every vaccine known to man.
That's right.
They give you the ones that are the ones that you're going to run into. So if you were going to be deployed in certain countries in Africa, you're going to get the yellow fever vaccine. Mm-hmm. Not everyone was required to get the yellow fever vaccine. My problem with the COVID vaccine is that it doesn't stop transmission. Admitted by the CDC right now. It's on their website. It doesn't really prevent too much illness, especially in people under the age of 45, 50.
I have no idea if it prevents any illness.
Right.
The reality is.
Right. So then here's the question then. If the point of getting a vaccine, especially from the terms of the military, is because it is to target a very specific threat in an area that you're going to, how is getting a COVID-19 vaccine for an 18-year-old person who has a 99.99999% chance of surviving it, especially a military fit individual?
To be honest with you, Mac, is the COVID vaccine and the mask wearing and all that was a training program, I believe, that the government with using Pfizer and Merck and the rest of them is laid upon the people of America to see how much we would take and how willing we were to forego our freedoms. And
Right.
so they started a panic, and then everything was COVID. I
Right.
know someone actually whose son died, was an alcoholic, died because he was an alcoholic, killed his liver, and they offered the dad at the hospital after he passed away to agree on the death certificate that it was COVID, and they were offering to pay his medical expenses.
Right.
So I mean, there's a lot of shoddy stuff going on with that, and I understand why those guys are refusing it, because I would have wanted to refuse it as well.
Right.
Because I just I think it's a false narrative is what we've been fed.
Yeah.
We're talking about propaganda when we're talking about Yuri Brezhnev, and is propaganda comes from our government as well.
Oh, 100%.
And, I mean, they had to have some justification for shutting down the churches, shutting down our jobs, shutting down everything in this country. And you think about it, is as we could have been targeted by an enemy nation, which maybe China, because you could consider we did do that, is
Right.
would devastate our nation as much as our own government allowed to have happen through the COVID.
Right.
And their handling of it, not just the disease itself or the flu or whatever it happens, but COVID. Because remember that you didn't even hear about the flu.
Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Comment down below.